Hey, everybody.
Good night. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shadows of Nox. I'm just going to blow past everything that just happened before the camera
Yep. Nope, I had to take us
started
live.
rolling. So for those of you joining us tonight, our episode of Echoes of the OSS is, our, I believe, fifth installment of our adventure into the Code by Chaosium. It's in Mansions of Madness Volume 1. Go ahead and check that out. It's a pretty awesome little adventure. Tonight is Beyond the Veil, because one of our little investigators, the littlest probably of all the investigators we have, just got their hands on the Necronomicon. So that's going to be fun times. And also to catch everybody else up, Cherry is on her way to meet Agent Gleason at Doyle's Tavern to debrief or rendezvous, whatever phrase I guess you want to use for it right now. Rocco will be meeting with Agent Gleason as well a little bit later on, or is supposed to. And then Nora and Forrest are in the basement, essentially, of the Widener Library at Harvard, just having dealt with the Golem, Joseph. Forrest just was able to deflect him at least, and his 7-foot frame went right into the corner of two of the adjoining walls there, leaving a rather decent-sized dent in his face. But right now that seems to just kind of confuse and aggravate him a little bit.
Well, I mean, if it dented the middle of his face, his eyes are now looking. I've made him. He's got to be dealing with extreme cross-eyedness.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of vision probably messed up at this point, right?
Yeah. So standing right in front of him is the safest spot to be.
And talking about golems and the Necronomicon and everything else, we'll go into our content, I guess, warnings for this stream, which I am currently looking up, as I can never seem to remember the last list that we did.
Amnesia, blood and gore.
There we go. Thank you.
Guns and violence, disembodied voices, eldritch horrors, occult practices. In other words, it's Cthulhu.
Exactly. It's also the nature of a live actual play, right? It's nearly impossible to tell exactly what things we might touch on, but that's the ballpark of everything. So hopefully that gives everybody a good idea. But yeah, now, of course, I am Roadkill. I'll be the keeper for the evening, as always. Ava, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and your character real quick, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm Ava Rogers, and I am playing Nora Shea, a cryptologist. I can never remember.
All right. Interchangeable terms.
Why not?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's me.
What?
Yeah, was that all, Ava?
Yeah, that's me.
That works. Christina, go ahead and choose yourself and your character, please.
I am Christina, and Christina Presley, and I play Cherry Matthews. She's a actress, songstress, nightclub worker, also a spy, and she happens to be Nora's younger sister.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And Vorrt.
Hi, I'm Vorrt. I'm playing Rocco Crenshaw, a mechanic who occasionally hears voices from places that no one should be hearing voices from.
That's the content warning, disembodied voices, right?
Yeah.
At the very least. I mean, there's other situations.
And he has conversations with them. It's not just hears them, talks with them.
Yeah.
And Teslan.
I'm playing Forrest Flanagan, consummate soldier, consummated listed man. He is currently a bodyguard for a devoted bodyguard to Nora Shea. And he occasionally gets a little overwrought and overprotective in situations where she's been in danger. So we'll find out how he does once they get away from this golem.
Awesome. Assuming you do, right?
No, we are getting away. I told you, he's
got that confidence for him, right?
She's getting away from him.
Listen, just because he went ring shopping one day,
he has not gone that far off of the edge, over the edge. He was in the hospital when he hit that stage.
Yeah.
That is fair. All right. So, where I'll start us off is actually for sake of, I guess, chronologic continuity, which is funny to bother with in some of the weirdness that has happened in this game already. But I'll go to Rocco, who had a meeting about 2 to 3 days prior to where we currently are in game, with an old contact of his, a mentor, I believe, Professor Smithson. So back when you were on, of course, the movie set, you sent him a telegram detailing, or at least mentioning in a way, the calculations that you helped Nora with for this mystery material that at the time Rocco didn't know was, the book, the Tome of Ascan, essentially, or at least what that tome is made out of. I can't recall if Rocco has learned that since or not. I don't know if Nora has shared that information. Ava?
What?
Has Nora shared the information with Rocco that the calculations, the material within it was the Tome of Ascan, or no? I can't recall. I know for a while she was questioning whether or not she should bother with that at all, but...
Sure, why not?
Okay, because I know now that Nora's been brought on to Delta Green and Rocco is already in Delta Green, right?
Yeah, no,
Then
definitely.
that would make sense. So yeah, so Rocco, you know that mystery material was essentially whatever this tome is made out of. And other than that, you haven't been able to really see it. Just the description is it's lighter than it looks. It's black in color and has kind of like a gold leafing around the trim of it with symbols on the front and a mirror. And the spine is like half of an hourglass with black sand that doesn't seem to move at all.
That's normal.
All right. But yeah, so you were going to meet Professor Smithson. Do you think you met him at a cafe or bar or something? Okay.
Fine cafe where people discuss random stuff.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so you meet him at this cafe on Harvard's campus. There's a lot of them.
Yes.
They're probably more like soda shops at this point in time, but the premise is still the same, right?
Yes. Sounds about right.
So you meet him there. He's sitting at one of the booths, and I believe you described him as appearing about mid-50s, black, healthy build. He's got short hair and a nicely trimmed beard. I recall the description you had of your contact. But yeah, he's sitting at one of the booths and kind of sees you as you walk in and waves you on over.
I'll walk over, Greet him warmly and say,
Hey,
listen,
it's great to see you.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Please sit. Do you like any pie or anything? Probably gonna help myself to some. It looks pretty good here.
Yeah, I'd order something. I don't know if pie, but
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, I think it was around lunchtime or at least a little bit before noon that you were meeting. So I got the general calculations and everything. I don't know if you know what that material is that was involved in those calculations. But it does match up with with a theoretical material, I guess I should say, that I've been kind of researching and studying into. From what I can tell of those calculations, it indicated that this material is very conductive, and in this situation, apparently was being used in conjunction with Tesla coils, which is a whole nother thing that is kind of curious to me. But my theory on what this material might be is that it's a two-dimensional kind of form of a crystalline carbon. So like graphite, it would be similar to that, but it's structured in like a single layer of carbon atoms, essentially, as it's how it's composited. And based on the math that I was able to do and check with what this theoretical material might be able to do, it's potentially, flexible, probably about 40 times stronger than diamond, tougher than steel, extraordinarily lighter than even paper, depending on its make. And I mean, potentially, if my math is right again, which it normally is, about 1,000,000 times more conductive than copper. So, yeah, it's,
That is,
as I said, it's a theoretical material, but based on the calculations that you seem to look into or sent me anyways, it matches up with what this theoretical material might be, or at least what I think it might be. It'd be kind of like similar to like a graphite oxide paper, right? Which, on some of your general engineering knowledge, you don't know that much about it, but you do know it was something that was described back in 1918 by a couple scientists. But yeah, do you have this material? Something I could look at, or?
No, this is
Okay.
paperwork I found that I was covering.
Gotcha. Was it of somebody here on campus?
No, this was while I was out in Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting there. So maybe there's someone out there, I guess, that is researching this or looking into it. I know. What? How long ago was it? A series of months ago, possibly towards the beginning of summer or whatnot. But a doctor from Harvard reached out to me and was asking me about a similar material. He didn't give me much information, didn't seem to really want to divulge a lot of information, but it was specific to the conductivity of it. His name started with an S, and I can't quite remember, Dr. something.
Is that the one that I have the handouts for? I know that name, right?
Yeah, Dr. Sommerfeld.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Sommerfeld.
Yes, yes. Do you know him?
I can't remember. Have I actually? I don't think I've actually met him.
I don't think Rocco has actually had the chance to really meet him yet.
No, I haven't met him. I've just seen some telegraphs from him.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, he reached out to me about it as well, but again, that was specific to the conductivity. But I mean, this potential material, it could completely revolutionize the engineering industry depending on what applications it might actually be able to do. I mean, it's even potentially self-repairable by being able to take its carbon molecules and essentially would attach within itself to fill any potential holes. It would be very resistant to heat. I mean, I based on my math again, it would probably wouldn't even be able to be cut by an acetylene torch. So it would be an extraordinary material to be able to see firsthand if that's what that material was. So I think that's why I got a little excited when you initially told me about it. Thought I finally found a situation where it actually existed. Yeah. But as you said, it's not something that you have physically, or that you've even seen, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was hoping, but either way, I mean, it's really nice to see you. I'm glad you reached out. How's everything else going with you working here at Harvard?
I'm kind of working here.
Okay. All right.
I
guess.
mean, it's like I kind of go where I'm requested.
Oh, okay, like a contract work kind of thing, contractor or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Engineering, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm here to help keep the machines running and fix things.
Nice, nice. Well, I'm happy to see that you made it through the war. I know I lost contact with you for quite a while with all of that, and a lot of friends of both of ours, I think, I never really made it back home, but I'm very happy that you did. So.
Same here. I'm hoping to be done with this soon and get back to Indiana.
Yeah. You have a lady out that way, right?
Yeah, I sent a gift off a little while ago to her. Haven't quite heard back, but I know it takes a little bit of time with the mail.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, if you, since I'm in that general area and most of the time, if you ever want me to pass along a message or anything, I mean, I'm sure you could give them a call, but yeah, you can give me a call too, or yeah, if you need anything.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm hoping to put in for some time off here soon, some leave to go back and visit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you are probably well overdue on having some leave, right? I think you started working right as soon as you got back from the war, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want anything more than the pie? I mean, I can help cover.
No, I'm good.
All
I had
right.
a late breakfast.
Good. Oh. Yeah. Anything else specific going on? Like, are you doing any research, or? I feel like I did, talk nothing about me and my theories, right?
I not much I'm really doing at the moment. It's kind of
Yeah.
at least nothing for myself. It's been go where told, do as asked kind of thing.
That's fair.
Hoping to get some free time to eventually get back and do some studying on my own.
Yeah. Well, I know if and like he would chat with you for a little while, about typical day-to-day things. enjoy a little bit of a lunch and everything with you for a bit. And on his way out, essentially, he would mention is like, and again, if you do happen to come across that material or anybody that seems to know about it, please let me know. I know if I do find that this actually exists, I have to reach out to Dr. Wallace, a colleague of mine. Met him at MIT back in '42. He would be greatly interested in it. He's working in Montreal now. There's a laboratory out that way, but
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know.
definitely. All right. Well, I hope you have a great weekend. I'm staying at one of the hotels here in town. I forget the name of it. It's a rather historical one. Well, historic. I mean, it's been around since I think the 1900s, but like the early 1900s.
Hysterical one for a second.
Right, right. The Kendall Hotel. Yeah, I'm staying at the Kendall Hotel.
Okay.
So feel free to stop by if you need anything. You know, I figured if I'm coming out all this way, I might as well make a little bit of a weekend of it and see some different things. So I don't think I'll be really heading back that way until probably Monday or so.
I will let you know if I find some stuff.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It was very good seeing you.
Me. Nice seeing you again.
Yeah. And with that, he would, depending on your level of relationship and everything with him, he would either, give you a nice solid handshake or a warm hug.
Probably a handshake.
But yeah. And make sure you have his number for him at the hotel and everything while he's here.
Yep. Get that memorized.
Awesome.
Persistent little bugger, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's been working on this theory for this material for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's 1945. The first indication of something like this was 1918, potentially. So I mean, if he's in his mid-50s, he's probably been working on this kind of theory or theoretical material for at least 30 some years.
Sure.
Right. So
Ooh.
this being the closest he might have actually come to it existing so far is very exciting for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, I will transition away from Rocco and go over to Cherry, I think, for a little bit.
Okay.
You meet Agent Gleason at Doyle's Tavern. You get there before he does. Is there anything you do when you go in? Your favorite bartender, of course, is there.
Yes.
Adam.
She's actually going to order 2 Tom Collins.
Okay. All right.
And have one ready for him.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually is going to leave his drink on the bar, and she's going to be over playing with the piano.
Oh, okay. When you initially order, Adam's going to kind of look at you sideways a little bit, be like, you're either preparing to drink a lot already, even though it's not that late in the day, or you have company you're expecting.
I have a work thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a work thing. We'll see.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll make sure nobody touches this and it's nice and good for when they arrive, I guess. Should I keep my eye out for anybody in particular?
No, he'll know.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, let me know if there's anything else you need. I'll, of course, be working and studying.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be just sitting there playing. I even picked a song. It was very ironic. And I lost it. Anyway, she's playing a classic 1930s song that we all would have been played in our homes as we were growing up.
Right. Wow, my mind is blanking on that act right now too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's-
one that a decent amount of people
Yeah.
that are hearing it in the tavern right now recognize
Yeah.
and are enjoying.
Mhm.
Playing the piano. Let's see. Are you doing anything else with it as well? Or just
She's
playing
probably
the
singing
melody
along.
and the melody? Okay. You can go ahead and give me a singing roll.
Okay.
And you'll, depending on how the first roll is, you'll be able to essentially have a bonus die to it, because chances are you've done this many times before at this specific piano by this point.
Mhm.
You know, it's not that difficult of
Hold on, my
a
thing is
task for you to do.
loading.
That is fine.
There it is. And singing is,
Yeah, your
Um,
singing's pretty good,
well, I hope so.
right? You're a professional singer, so.
Yeah, I was like, if she, where is it?
Let's see, on the character sheet, it'd be on the right side towards the top of the skill area.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, art and craft. All right, go ahead and roll just a d10, and we'll replace the 10 spot number with what you get on that d10.
Okay, hold on. Now I gotta get the dice.
Yeah, and this is
Roll
more
the
narrative
D10.
purposes anyways. Yeah, just a single d10. Two, so you got
Oh
a
my
29
gosh.
then, essentially, is what that
I
did.
got, it's
So-
good for me to fail these.
Well, no.
No.
So since you had a bonus die, you
Yeah.
re-roll the die that would replace the 10s digit. So instead of an 8,
Oh.
you got a 2, which makes it a 29 instead of an 89.
That's worse.
Well, you're supposed to get under the 50.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's really good. You can actually give yourself a dot in singing,
Oh, okay.
and since that still counts as a regular success and everything for it.
Okay.
But it's working out pretty good. After a little bit of time, Agent Gleason comes in wearing very much the same or similar, it's always hard to tell, suit that you've already seen him in.
Yeah.
Same watch, of course, on his wrist.
And she'll notice.
Right. Notice it from across the bar. Right?
Yeah.
And he comes in. Adam at the bar kind of flags him over as he was walking that way, because he's noticed that he kind of connected eyes with you while you were playing the piano, and you just assumed, right?
Uh-huh.
And when he came over, you see that they have a little exchange, a conversation. I don't think you have read lips or anything, but it's very brief. And Agent Gleason looks down at the drink, seems to thank Adam, and then takes the drink and kind of tilts it up to you to kind of toast while you're singing.
She's going to, on purpose, finish the song.
Okay.
Go through a whole nother length of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then finish and make a big to-do. People are clapping for her.
Meanwhile, at this point, Nora and Forrest were probably finding the Necronomicon. So if it cut back and forward, it's just a complete juxtaposition, right? All right.
So then she'll walk over. I figured Tom Collins was your drink.
It's one of them that I rather like.
What others?
Straight whiskey, typically.
Oh, I get it.
All right. But to be fair, that was, there weren't that many frills I came used to while being over in the war, so.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But this is a nice little change of pace, right?
Good.
Maybe I'll
Did you know that?
get a little culture in me yet.
Yeah. Did you know that song?
I'm familiar with a tune, but I'm not sure the name, and I don't think I could quote any of the words back, but I've heard it before.
Do you have any musical talent? Because I can play anything. Maybe 2 or 3 Tom Collins, you'll be up there singing.
If I am, I don't think it would be any good.
That's okay. They don't mind.
I'm a soldier by profession, so.
Oh, okay. So you watch the musical talent. You don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't participate. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And to watch the musical talent, maybe try to, persuade them every once in a while to hang out with me, but
Oh, okay.
that's about
Is that what
up
you
the
thought
extent of it.
happened here? I think I told you to come meet me for a drink.
You did, yes.
Yeah.
I was planning to check in with you, see how the progress has been going with tracking down Mr. Connolly.
I have.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
Okay.
It's been interesting. My bar buddy here, what's his name? Adam was able to give me some, but I'm keeping my voice low. I don't.
Right.
I don't
exactly.
trust that Adam isn't listening.
Yeah.
Adam's been a good contact, and it's been good since I picked up a couple nights work here, so people are starting to know me. But not a lot of working, so that people, I don't need my name on the marquee. Because that does happen a lot when I go places. They end up making me the main attraction.
Well, yeah. Understandable.
But yeah. So I'm still working on it. I would like it to move a little bit faster, but I'm trying to be cautious. That's one thing my mentor told me is I have a tend to rush things and run in without thinking. And I think my sister has said something like that before, like it's better to think, and she's a little. We're different.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm typically that type too. Me and Forrest both ran in without thinking a lot of the times, but thankfully we still came out at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what happens when I find this guy?
Pretty much when you find him, it's similar to the director, to Irving, right? You try to see if they are in fact some sort of Russian spy or have connections along those lines, and then we got to bring him in.
And then I just invite him to come with me, and I bring him in. Because this guy, the way they talk about him, sounds like he could be dangerous. Which, don't get me wrong, I can handle.
I have no doubt about that. But yeah, if it does get a little dangerous, right, a little physical, then yeah, you bring him in however you need to. The hope is alive so that we can further question him on his contacts and everything. But
right. Well, I don't know if I showed you this knife that my mentor gave me, and she's going to show you that she keeps it strapped on her thigh. And she's like, "Have you seen this with the mother of pearl handle?" All right. And she'll go, "You can touch it."
I'm assuming this is a charm roll.
Yes.
How you doing? Go ahead and do a charm roll.
Okay. And when he goes to do that, she's going to try and take his watch.
Take the watch, yeah. That's where I thought this was going. All right. Wow. All right, so you can mark a die in charm, right? Or not a die, a dot for advancement later on. But yeah, he is a very experienced soldier, and someone who's very experienced in espionage can tend to resist charms and tricks pretty well. But in this case, it does seem like he reaches for it without thinking. And like by the time he realizes that he touched the knife and everything, his hand's already like on the knife, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to go ahead and do a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, let me get this goddamn watch. Let's see.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Even with him being distracted, he does seem like he comes back to his senses right as you are about to try to slide your hand over and undo the watch and take it, right? And he moves his hand away just as you are about to make that move, right? I was like,
Well,
that is
Well, okay.
a
Well,
rather nice knife.
Hang on 1 second.
All right.
Does Christina know? Does Christina remember the mechanic for pushing it?
I don't know if Christina does, actually.
How do
So
you
if
do
you
that?
push it, you can reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially narrating
If you
that.
fail, the
Okay.
consequences are worse.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So like narrate like how you're, kind of going about the same thing a little differently for the same goal, right? But if you fail it, the outcome of the failure is potentially worse. So
It's not the
it's a little
worth the
gamble.
risk to me.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That,
I mean, this is fitting. It keeps it this ongoing thing between you two, right? But because of the charm roll and everything else leading into it, like the setup, you were really close to actually like getting to where you could probably do it. And this time, it doesn't seem like he noticed that you were started to go for the watch. It's just he happened to come more to his senses and just be like, "Oh, right."
It's
Yeah.
an intoxicating night,
sip.
isn't it?
It is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. It reminds me of her.
Reminds you of your mentor? Yeah.
Yeah. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I can't say I really have many material possessions like that I've gotten from mentors or of memories of various things. Most of mine are done in tattoos.
Oh.
But
Which one's your favorite?
which one? Probably this one. Like he'll actually show you like on his left shoulder, this kind of connected tattoo, and tell you a story about one of the conflicts him and Forrest went into almost blindly and made it out alive during the war.
Oh, wow. But when he's telling her, she's going to, because it's still the 40s, so it shouldn't be appropriate, but she's going to lean forward and get close enough that, gosh, she's such a conniving little thing, that he can feel her breath on his arm.
Okay.
So she's looking at it. She goes, "Tell me more. Keep telling me."
Yeah. You notice that even though he's talking about it as if it's a singular tattoo, he has to kind of like take off the suit jacket and everything and roll up his sleeve and everything to show you and everything. But you notice almost from about probably like mid forearm, I'd say, on up is just a series of tattoos that all seem interconnecting. And it goes into probably what is across his entire back and likely over to the other arm.
So she will say, "So how many more drinks do you have to have for me to see all of them?"
Honestly, not entirely sure.
Okay.
I haven't tested that yet.
Okay. I just want to see the whole story. I'm not trying to take advantage of you, Agent.
Well, of course, but it is a rather long story.
Advantage yet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also, depending on the amount of drinks, I might not remember the whole story at that point.
Well, we won't get you sloshed. We'll just get you fun.
During the conversation, do you end up telling Agent Gleason what you have found about Clint Connolly and how he seemed to, the way his appearance was and everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. But she will, because of Adam being there, that's his name? She'll write it down.
Okay. Awesome.
As they're talking.
All right.
Yeah.
as he reads and everything and kind of crumples it up. I'm assuming you write it on a napkin,
Yeah.
right? As he goes to crumple it up, it seems like he uses it kind of on the edge of the glass and uses the condensation to pretty much absorb into the napkin and ruin
Yeah.
every last bit of what was written on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, because he easily recognized that you were essentially using it as passing a secret, right? Something that you didn't want to talk out in the open. And I
Right.
was like, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. It's been very hard to kind of track sufficiently and figure out where they went, right?
Right.
And he kind of borrows that same pen, writes on a napkin, and writes down what he suspects Clint Connolly really is, other than a supposed machinist, because that was the
Okay.
job he had in Project Manhattan. And on the napkin, he writes the word con man on it.
Okay. And then she
as
will.
that's why he thinks he hasn't been able to track him very well.
Oh. Okay. She will also wet the
Mhm.
napkin and
Awesome.
tear it up. Yeah.
Meanwhile, while they are having wonderful drinks and music and flirting, back with Nora and Forrest.
They hold that nice safe book.
Right.
It's not the book I'm worried about right now.
So you're staring down at this 7-foot tall guy with this very
Golem.
clear indentation in his face. No blood, other than the confusion and what appears to be a bit of an impaired perception that he has. He's still staring in your general direction.
Yeah.
And trying to, I guess, figure out all right, now what does he do, right? So.
Okay. Well, let me know when.
But yeah, you and Nora can go ahead and do what it is you intend to. Nora's got the
Get out of here?
Necronomicon.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
He swoops Nora up in a bridal carry.
Yep.
Because he can move faster than she can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he literally
I'm
sprints.
not so sure about that.
That's true, you're right. But okay, that's a fair point. Let me
Just saying, I'm small but fast.
Yeah, you're small but fast. That's
That's
true.
true. Yeah.
You're right, and I would actually know that. Okay.
I outran him last time. This time he's
this is true.
injured?
Yeah.
Question mark.
Right.
I figured you just throw her over your shoulders and fireman carry, go hop, 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 hop.
Yeah, no, at this point, run. Let's get up the stairs.
I've done that many times to Andrew. It's actually quite easy with him.
Yeah, well, I am built like a bird, so
Yeah.
despite being
So is Nora.
Yeah.
6'2", I apparently have hollow bones.
But I also just remembered something. Forrest doesn't know the way out. Forrest got
Right.
lost. So
Yeah.
no, head for the stairs.
Yeah.
We gotta
So
get
what
out of here.
Nora does is she grabs
Yes.
Right.
just he's down, grabs Forrest's hand and just bolts to the exit.
All right. As you start heading in that direction and everything, going through the stacks and everything, it doesn't seem like Joseph there is keeping up. Like, you look back every once in a while and you don't see him there. But as you're running, you do come across an area where you start hearing a very heavy growling sound, like a very animalistic growling sound.
Oh no.
And out of the shadows, you see this, what appears to be a black dog, just a domestic, right, dog of some breed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's growling, drool is coming from its fangs and everything, and it's got this very weird glow to its eyes.
Okay.
And it just kind of comes out of the shadow as if it was the shadow a moment ago.
Mhm.
Okay. Are we?
Is it cutting us off?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving in front of where you are for that immediate stairwell that you were heading towards.
Okay, so I can see the
But
stairwell.
of course,
then.
Nora knows of other ones easily. Like she's been down here often enough
Okay. Yeah.
that she knows the layout well.
So I imagine her like skidding to a stop and then bolting left.
All right. Give me a sanity roll for
Yeah.
seeing this dog come out. All right.
Okay.
Nora's doing all right. That was and Forrest is doing good as well.
I'm not rolling as
yeah.
poorly as I was last night. Good.
We saw guys.
I was getting all kinds of 90s last night, and I'm like, no.
We saw
I was playing
guys.
Eclipse phase, so it's not good.
We saw a guy's face get folded in. I mean,
Yes.
it's a dog with glowing eyes.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah, you dart off in the other direction, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Towards another stairwell.
Is it scrambling behind us?
It seemed like it was mainly blocking that exit of
Okay.
yours. After a little while, it seems like it starts moving
Yep. 'Cause
towards you, but
you can
hear
them
the
on those
clicks,
tiles.
kind of
Yeah.
exactly of the claws,
Yeah.
but it does fade away while it's heading towards you.
I mean, I literally just walked out of the shadows.
Right, exactly. Let's see. Forrest and Nora, go ahead and give me an intelligence check, actually.
Oh, good.
That's rude.
Oh,
Whoa.
not good.
But Forrest got it,
Yep.
which is hilarious. So
Never
Nora,
mind. My 90s are still
right.
strong on the 90s.
You don't quite remember this, but Forrest, you do actually recall something that dog looked familiar to you, like you've seen it before on campus somewhere,
Okay.
but you can't quite place it at the moment.
Okay.
And as you're moving everything towards it, Nora, one thing you do see is you see that there's two pieces of paper that seem to be kind of poking out from the Necronomicon, from a section of it.
Okay.
And you've known enough about various books and different things so far. They're not pages of the Necronomicon. They're
Okay, right.
easily newer sheets of paper, but they're poking out of what seems to be a specific area of the book. Do you try to take a look at what those are or anything?
While we're running to
okay.
the stairs?
Or running, looking to see if anything's clear or whatnot, even if it's a quick glance, right?
Sound of the dog faded away.
Mm-hmm.
There's no signs of Joseph following us, right?
Right. If he is, he hasn't been able to keep up or figure out where it was you went.
Right. Okay, so yeah. So she will... Yeah, okay, why not?
It is something that's piquing her curiosity.
Yeah,
bit, right?
yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure at this point that nothing's following us right now.
Right.
So she'll.
Yeah, you are pretty close to one of the stairwells that you know of. So
yeah,
and you don't see any other signs of anything threatening right at this second.
When the hell did I
So-
become Shaggy in this episode of Scooby Doo?
Right.
I'm the one off with Velma.
Right.
2 to 3 episodes ago.
Right.
so she'll
Yeah.
stop and
Yeah.
ostensibly to make sure nobody's following us, and then flip the book open to one of those pages. And what is this? What is this loose leaf in here?
So it's two papers that seem to be shoved in the book. One appears to be an old map, maybe about 10 or 15 years or so old, not that old necessarily. Looking at it quickly, it's you recognize part of it as the underground map of Widener Library, but it's got an extended network of tunnels that shows different buildings that it goes to on campus. So it's not a map that you've seen ever before of it, and definitely not anything that's typically public knowledge. There's also one of the pages appears to be a torn page from a journal that is stained with blood.
Oh, yay!
That's great.
And let's see, am I on there? Yeah. So if you're looking on the map at the moment, where I had everybody, let's see. Nope, wrong one. Dang, it might be. All right, give me a second. A little bit of a glitch there because it went behind what I wanted it to go to. There we go.
Episode of Scooby-Doo.
So you see that as the kind of lines that the tunnels make from Widener Library. Reaches out to the Phillips Brooks house, the Lawrence Education building or whatnot, one of the chem labs, the Semitic Museum, one of the churches on campus, and Harvard University's press or publishing house.
Okay. Interesting.
Let's see. Does Nora? Let me see. Let's see. You have nope. But yeah, it definitely seems like it's something that's been built long ago, or at the very least is not anything that's supposed to be known by many people of the public, right?
Okay.
And also taking a look, you do notice that the journal page that's stained with blood, though the page itself, the bulk of it is not in your handwriting. There's a couple notes on it that are. And with that, we'll go to break.
Okay.
All right, folks, we'll be back in 10 minutes as Tom rapidly fixes something before we go to break.
And Nora can contemplate why her handwriting's on a random piece of paper in the Necronomicon.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shadows of Nox with Echoes of the OSS Beyond the Veil. Again, this is part 5 of our venture into the Code story by Chaosium. Hopefully, we'll be getting farther into the actual module as written, but I'm modifying it to work in with the overall story that we've been doing. Now, with where we left off, Nora and Forrest are in the basement area of the Widener Library in the underground, and Nora just found that apparently the Necronomicon, the book that she just got and has touched for the first time moments ago, has a couple pages in it. One is a map of the underground of the library system that is on the map that you can see, leading to some of the different other buildings on campus. And the other is a torn page from a journal of someone's handwriting that details a spell on it. And the oddest part about it is that in the margins of this page are frantic handwriting in Nora's handwriting of a couple notes. The page itself, the journal page, is stained in blood, and those notes, one says, "Get Mahian Mummy," which I don't think Nora has any idea what that is even in reference to. And the other one, the note says, "Kill him on December 8th.
Great.
So it'll be interesting to see how much. What's that?
I do have some knowledge of anthropology.
You're right. Anthropology and archaeology would be a way to know what the Mahian mummy is.
Yeah.
But it's also, we'll see if Nora shares any of the information on this random journal to anyone.
No.
Not until I have some time to examine it closer.
Right.
Right now, we just need to get out.
Yes. The page that it was bookmarking as well in the Necronomicon is a page in the Necronomicon detailing the spell Protection of the Dead, which seems purposeful as to why it was bookmarked that specific spell. So, with getting out of the library, which way do you take? Do you Do you use this map that you just got of the underground to head
right
somewhere, or
now.
okay?
Whatever exit I was
All right.
heading to already is the one that we're going to take to get out of here.
Okay. As you head towards that stairwell and everything, you know, almost for a second, it seems like the shadows move a little, but you make your way up the stairwell into the main area of the library where there's patrons just going about doing their normal thing. And you don't see any indication of Joseph or the dog or anything.
Right.
Go ahead and give me perception checks for both of you.
Do that. Spot hidden.
Yeah, spot hidden in this one.
Hey.
Completely legitimate. Addition creep.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
We can put a dot in.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So as you're leaving from the top of that stairwell, looking down, you see amongst the shadows at the bottom of the stairwell are two of those dogs growling in the general direction up the stairwell.
Okay.
And you notice that as some of the other patrons pass by and everything, they don't seem to take notice of them at all.
Of course not.
Okay.
Where do you go from there?
Weren't we also planning to meet?
Yeah.
At the tavern.
Jason? Yeah.
So we're safe then. It
Okay.
appears.
It seems like it.
For the moment.
The way you said
Can
that reminds me of that line from Pleasantville. It's we should be okay. We're safe. We're in a bowling alley.
Yep.
Can I make an occult roll to
Yeah.
recognize what those dogs actually are?
Sure. Go ahead.
'Cause they're obviously not normal.
Actually,
Right.
I have the.
45.
Did I have the? I've
Yeah.
been reading Harper McLean's books. So
Oh yeah, you have a cult as well.
yes, I have a cult
Yes.
as well, and have a chance. Not much of one, but oof.
Yeah. Oof.
I don't have. I
Not
wouldn't.
that bad of
You're
a
just
roll,
reading it
but
for
yeah.
the
It's not, it
pictures.
was a good
Right.
roll, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you've been reading very specifically into golems. recently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nora, those, I guess they might be referred to as hellhounds
Ooh.
in some mythology, but it doesn't seem right because it doesn't completely match the description of them that you know of.
Right.
And with that, as you are heading out and everything, you do notice on the banister to that stairwell is this symbol that seems to be kind of small in it, kind of hidden, but etched into it, that matches the layout that's given for the underground on that map.
Okay. So I'll take a closer look at that when I have a moment to breathe.
And also, as you head on your way out, you both spot a kind of like a missing poster, which Forrest, now you remember where you recognize where you saw that dog before. There looks to be a black Labrador that's been missing, and in fact, the poster details that there's been two of them that have been missing recently. And looking at the picture that's printed out, on this this poster and everything, even though it's not the best quality, it's in black and white. It does look like it's the two dogs that you just saw at the bottom of that stairwell.
Oh, nice.
The poster is specifically posted by essentially the campus police, as they were trying to train these dogs, and they just went missing from their kennels one morning.
Okay.
Nora,
I'm a little
seeing
concerned
the
by the fact that we can see them,
Right.
but other patrons can't.
right. That's the part that makes
That's
you
concerning.
think hellhounds, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But seeing the poster, it seems like it might be more in line with like a possession or like a spectral kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe those dogs have passed away and this is their spirit.
Okay, yeah.
You're not sure, right?
Yeah.
Or
That's
they
more in
are
line with
being
what I was thinking
controlled by
after seeing
something.
that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Well, yeah. So you make your way out. Nora, it seems that now that you've seen one of those symbols before, you've also noticed it like on one of the door jambs on your way out.
Uh-huh.
And you're starting to see them more and more in different areas on the building of the library. They're all really small. Most of them are pretty well hidden into the general design and look of the library building itself. But now that you've spotted one, you seems to be a lot easier for you to see the other ones.
Forrest, do you... She's trying to figure out a way to ask him, do you see the symbol without coming across as mad if he doesn't?
Okay. Forrest reaches down, puts his finger under her, gently puts his finger under her chin, tilts her up so that they can look each other in the eyes, because she's probably doing that pointing down, looking around thing. Just say it. It's good. If it sounds crazy, I'll tell you it sounds crazy, but I don't think you're crazy. Does that sound crazy, what I just said? You get what I mean, right? We have to.
You see the symbol here.
Give me a spot hidden, Forrest. I'll give you a bonus die since Nora is like specifically pointing it out. Might not be like blatantly pointing at it, but
no, definitely.
in general
it would be
is
one that is more
directing you to it pretty well.
out of the way, not the one on like the door jam where other people might pass, but another one somewhere.
Right, exactly. Like there's some within some of the stonework on the steps and everything.
Okay, I'm gonna push
78.
it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna push it because he would push it in this
that
case.
would be yeah. Go ahead. Wow.
No. He punches her in the face.
Wow, what is this?
So you are looking really hard.
No, I don't see it. Bam,
you
bam.
think you see a symbol. You do think you see a symbol, but you're not quite sure if it's exactly what Nora is trying to point out.
And you said they were like etched into...
Yeah, they're etched in, kind of hidden among the rest of the artwork itself.
Right. Touching it, can I...
Or at
she's
least
trying
the general
to make sure
structure,
she's not mad.
Right,
Can she feel the... Like, obviously, it's probably well-worn. They were done probably a long time ago.
Yeah.
But can I feel...
you can physically feel that it's there.
Okay,
right.
So as she's tracing it and feeling it, I put my hand over hers. So because I'll be able to tell she's tracing it with her finger. So I'll put my hand over top of hers. Because remember, I failed that composure rule. So he's not really keeping the distance that he should.
Keeping the distance.
Hand over hers so that his longer fingers extend past to see if he can feel it as she traces it, and just lets her.
With that, you do see that symbol. Like you finally make out, oh, that's the one. And it's not quite the initial one you thought she was pointing at because of the general works of different cracks and everything else that's in the general structure. But yeah, you're pretty sure you see that now.
Okay, I didn't really see it before.
You both can give me an occult roll for the symbol itself.
But then when you were tracing it, and I put my hand over yours.
All right.
Once I traced you tracing it, it kind of clicked and made sense. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not really
this
thinking about.
is
He's
this
not
is
really
not
doing math. Yeah.
a symbol that even like triggers your mind that
Yeah.
it's
Well, Harper
directly
Ripley
occult
wouldn't
related.
put
You
this in the
assume
book.
it probably is, right? Yeah.
He wouldn't put this in the book. that I
Right,
read.
exactly. Nora, you don't know much in regarding to this symbol, but you do know it's called the Elder Sign.
No,
Um,
that's probably
but
not.
that's about it.
Yeah, that doesn't really
And
good things from
looking
just a
at
learn.
the that map and everything that you got of the underground network under Widener Library, the network itself makes the Elder Sign,
Yeah. Okay.
a very large version of that symbol.
All right.
And based on the fact of it seems to be etched towards either entrances or ways to get to the building and within the building itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's some sort of ward, you're guessing.
Right. The question is against what?
Right.
And considering we've run into Joseph here,
Mm-hmm. And these,
probably not good things.
yeah.
Okay.
So
At least I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Yet.
You make your way to Doyle's Tavern. Given the excitement of everything that you went through and everything, is likely that right as Cherry and Gleason are talking about Gleason's tattoos, is about when you two walk in.
So-
Whether or not you took a cab or just decided to hoof it there, is up to you.
So they see him pulling up his shirt.
Yeah, like
he's
they walk
down.
in, his suit coat is off, his one sleeve is rolled up, showing
And how many
that arm of the
drinks does he have?
tattoos. There's only one half empty glass in front of him because
That
Adam's
didn't take
pretty
much.
decent about taking them back. So it's not apparent exactly, but he's probably about 3 drinks in, even though it's like noon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, they walk in.
Mhm.
Well, actually, that makes it simpler because they walk in. They're still holding hands, or Forrest is still holding onto her hand. She could have shook it loose, but he'd still be
Right.
holding onto her hand as they walk in.
And she,
It was probably useful if they walked because her mind is in like 100 different places right now.
Help
yeah,
direct her where to go.
Because like that was my handwriting.
Yeah.
I've never touched this book
Yeah.
before.
Right.
What the hell is the Mahian mummy?
Yeah.
Who do I need to kill on the 8th?
Which, it being Monday, it's
It's not Monday.
It's December 2nd, I think.
It's December 3rd.
3rd, there you go. Yeah.
And it is. Oh, I thought I had the day of the week written down.
Yeah, it should be 3rd, 4th. 5th. Yeah, it's Monday, December 3rd.
Is it Monday? Okay. I guess
Yeah.
I don't have the day of the week written down. I
Yeah.
thought it was a Friday.
So this coming Saturday, apparently you're
So
supposed
it
to
might
kill
be
somebody.
referring to Joseph.
Well, actually, shoot, isn't that when
She has not revealed anything that she read in
Yeah.
those notes or the map that
Right,
she
yeah.
found.
Okay,
I
that's
need
fair.
to look into this more before
Right.
I start telling people.
And then, of course, it's bookmarked to that whole Protection of the Dead spell, which
Yeah.
I'm sure Nora will get a chance to read over a bit more
Oh, yeah.
later. Yeah, so you walk in. Christina, if you want to go ahead and set the scene between Cherry and Agent Gleason at the moment.
Okay.
Gleason's still maintaining a decent level of professionalism, but
What a
he
bummer.
is 3 drinks in. So,
Okay. She will have scooted her chair as close as she could and still be
Mhm.
appropriate
mhm,
considering the time frame.
right.
She will be a little bit more flirtatious than she would be if she hadn't
Mhm.
had 2 drinks.
Right.
But because she's in a familiar place, she will notice them coming
Mhm.
in and still not care and maybe like lean in to talk to him more to like draw him closer to her, just to see what his reaction is.
Okay. Give me a psychology roll is essentially what that skill would be there.
Okay.
Nora and Forrest, what do you do upon walking in and
well, she's
seeing
still.
that? Wow.
Yeah, she's still lost in. She's still lost in thought. So I probably shift my hand to her lower back to actively, slip it behind her lower back, actively guide her to the table, motioning, saying, hello to Adam, because it's been a few weeks since he's been in there. Because this was his bar first.
Right.
But then says his motions for his usual, and then and a whatever Nora likes to drink, which I'm guessing it's water. Yeah. I wasn't sure, like soda or like soda water or something like that, but
right.
No,
Water.
Nora seems like the
maybe
type that like chocolate egg cream.
Right. Might be tea every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what?
He did spend some time in England.
He's actually feeling kind of water and chocolate egg cream for the for Nora. So she doesn't even register what he said. Then he leads her over and pulls out the chair and helps her into it, and then sits down.
All right. Adam greets you like, "Nice to see you again, Forrest," and quickly gets you the water and says it'll be a second for the egg cream, but let me go get that up for you. Yeah.
And then he notices like that the amount of
the I guess potential intimacy of
the familiarity between
Agent Gleason and Cherry right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna just wait. So then he thinks
and
back
you've
to
seen these tattoos before, so you're actually familiar with the same stories that they tell, right?
I point to one that he probably hasn't told yet, most likely. Okay, that's not completely true. The story he's going to tell you about that one.
And with that is when Agent Gleason like notices, oh, you two have stepped in.
Yeah.
But before that, with Sherry's psychology roll, what essentially were you trying to read on him?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, she was trying to get him to lean in more, to get closer to her so she could see if she had him hooked, like, is he interested? Is he more than just, and then that would be perfect if he leaned in like he was going to kiss her, and then he talked and I could just see Cherry going.
Yeah, I like that as part of the scene. So he's definitely interested more so than just the fact that you work for him, with him.
Yeah.
Right. And Forrest, you can go ahead. You know enough, honestly, with Agent Gleason that's probably something you were able to recognize in that brief moment, as you said about the whole tattoo thing.
No,
right?
It's literally the only male appropriate. It's the only male appropriate way to break into the to break into the conversation, because he clearly wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. And Agent Gleason goes like, "Oh yeah, Forrest. Yeah, it's that'll be a story for another time. And he starts rolling down his sleeve again and buttoning the part of the wrist and everything for the shirt.
Cherry will go, "Hi, Forrest. Hey, buddy."
And
Hey.
Nora is sitting right next to Forrest. Nora, are you flipping through anything specifically, like in character, or
Her own notes, yes.
her own
Her
notes?
book,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm assuming the Necronomicon is like in your bag
Yeah.
at the moment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be leafing through that
Right.
at a bar.
Right. Just put it down on the bar and start flipping through the Necronomicon, right? Yeah.
Can I roll something to see if I notice something's off with her?
Yeah, that would be psychology. And Nora, you can give me both anthropology, archaeology, whichever one of those is better for essentially with everything you're thinking about. Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Anthropology is slightly better.
Okay.
It's better by.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Can I push that?
Yeah, you can.
Might as well.
Thinking about it, you feel like you should. Like you might have heard of something regarding the Mahian mummy or whatnot. Give me an occult roll for it, actually, as well. Oh, all right. I mean, you feel like there is something that you've heard of in the past couple of years, maybe, regarding it. Probably shortly around the time when you first got to Harvard. It kind of like triggering a memory, right? But with the occult roll, you know that it being a mummy, it's likely in reference to like an Egyptian mummy. And Mehi, so Mehi, is another name for Thoth, or yeah, the Egyptian god of the moon, wisdom, and magic, and yeah.
Okay.
How good did you get on? Oh, yeah. One of the other purviews that Thoth also has is with the regulation of time as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, before I forget,
Mhm.
we've got a giveaway going this month, and I forgot completely about the.
Oh yes, the track.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Where are all
no,
those
we don't.
hashtags?
We don't. It's spooky snacks
Awesome.
is the hashtag to
Yep,
get
there it is.
literally some spooky stacks. Feel free to put that hashtag in there for anybody who's watching.
Yeah. And speaking of almost forgetting something, Agent Gleason goes like, "Oh, I gotta go call Rocco. I'll be right back," and goes up and uses the Tavern's phone to call over to Rocco,
And yes,
who's
Tom, that is an entry for me.
Yes.
I want the
waiting at the garage and everything. So Rocco, your phone goes off.
Yeah, this is hello.
Hey, Rocco.
Yeah, this is he.
Gleason here, of course. Have you had any luck tracking down the 7-foot mysterious guy and the other mysterious man from the diner recently?
Irony is he stepped away before I could actually tell him about it.
Not since he tried to kill me.
Oh, both the mysterious man and the 7-foot guy?
Yeah, they were working together.
Okay, that's what I suspected, so it's good to hear that that's confirmed at least. How did you do? I mean, obviously you're alive, but
I got lucky. I just was able to use some techniques to get out.
good. I think it might be a good idea, actually, if you reached out to Forrest then to potentially help in actual hand-to-hand combat fight training a little bit.
Possibly.
Try to at least, a little bit more with self-defense. I know you know a bit from the war, but dealing with two men can be quite difficult at the same time, especially when one of them is apparently a 7-foot tall, I'm assuming, behemoth. Yeah. Well, are you on campus at the moment?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up in the shop here.
Okay. Do you want me to come to the shop?
I could use a break. Where should I meet you at?
I'm at Doyle's Tavern, and I got Forrest and Nora and Jerry here.
Oh yeah, he's got Cherry.
Wow.
No,
Oh, wow.
she's got
Wow.
she's got Agent Gleason.
Right. But yeah, I'll see you here in a couple minutes then.
Sounds
If you
good.
need me to help cover the cab ride, just let me know when you get here.
Will do.
So yeah, after a couple moments, Agent Gleason will come back. Forrest, Nora, Jerry, anything you do in the couple-minute time frame? Agent
Well,
Gleason stepped away. Yeah.
Well, I did that roll to see if I noticed
Yes.
something was off.
Yes.
And
Yeah, you definitely did, having a 17 on a
focused.
psychology roll. But yeah, Nora is extremely focused in her work and her notes and everything right now.
Oh yeah, she's pulled out the pages
yeah.
from the Necronomicon. Like she didn't pull out the Necronomicon to open
None.
it. She,
Yeah, or the pages of the Necronomicon, but those two that were
yeah,
doing the
those
bookmark,
two,
right?
the loose
Yeah.
ones.
I assume you kept the page in a way that they marked, right? To the
Yeah, if
spell
I
in the
can, yeah.
Necronomicon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you took just a blank, sheet of
Yeah.
note paper or whatever and put it in there. Yeah.
Cherry's going to. Me and Christina is going to assume that they have the kind of sister relationship where they don't have to talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to walk by her and just kind of squeeze her arm, like, I know something's wrong. I'm here. And she's going to head to the piano to sing another song.
Okay. All right. Nora, even with how focused you are, you do notice that and everything. You do notice that it's Cherry and everything. And as she goes off to play the piano. Anything specific you're looking at, Nora, on these papers? And are you looking at them openly enough that someone else might be able to see what's on them?
Well, actually, I was going to address that with where he was going to shift his seat, even if he's got to do the, arm around and just kind of resting on the back of her seat, and turning his chair so that he's got first off, his body is blocking somebody looking from behind me. And the other is I have a full range of vision over any of that stuff. And I'll look like I'm just kind of quietly talking to her, but I know damn well that actually talking to her would not be a good idea. The other thing is I'm pretty sure I probably have, with the chairs that would have been available at this point, this means that Cherry is actually in a position to watch my back.
Yeah.
Because of where the piano would be, where they would have sat.
Yeah, where the piano is, it's in one of the corners, so it's a clear view of almost every spot on the bar, right?
So I've got my body blocking her being looked at, and the rest of it looking around to with the arm possessive around her, so that if anybody looks at her, I can just pretend, hey, keep your eyes off my girl.
Right.
Pretend.
Yeah. So are the sheets you're looking at, Nora, though, visible enough for Forrest to potentially see what's on them?
She's not like hiding it. She's got, she's got her notebook laid out flat, and it's the page that she's currently looking at, the journal page.
Yes.
The map isn't what she's focused on right now. Is there? And at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, she's like got pen in one hand, and she's like, I know that's my handwriting, but also on the other page of her notebook, she's writing those phrases and just, that's my handwriting. But basically,
Forrest, give me a spot
confirming it for myself.
to see if you see enough of it to. All right.
That's your handwriting.
Yeah, you see this page that was torn out of some journal. It's stained in blood in a couple spots, and then you see in the margins Nora's handwriting, frantic handwriting at that. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check as well. All
Pushing
right.
it.
All right. There you go. So,
considering Nora, especially after failing composure, well, I'm pushing everything to get a success,
right,
or fail horribly.
That's fair. So, the other writing on the journal page, of course, isn't Nora's; it's somebody else's. I don't think Forrest necessarily recognizes it as it detailing a spell specifically, being that he only has a 5 in occult.
Yep.
But Forrest, you do feel like you recognize that handwriting. You're just not sure where from.
Okay, that is actually a factual thing. So I would actually point out, I can't say from who, but I recognize that handwriting, and I point to the other handwriting.
Yeah, the writing of the journal page itself.
Yeah, so I make sure that breaks through the haze, the intellectual haze. Yeah,
that Nora has. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I recognize that handwriting?
You can give me an intelligence check as well. Also a hard success. Now that Forrest mentions it, I think you have seen handwriting like that before, like specifically. But you're also not entirely sure where. Thinking like it's not like Dr. Sommerfeld's or something, right? You know that, but yeah, it's not like Cherries or Rocco's or that sort of thing.
That was my next question.
It's
not Cherries, right?
It's not Gleason's.
Nope.
I know Gleason's. I forged Gleason's.
Right. Yeah, you forged his signature a couple times.
Right. I know his.
Right.
There's not that many. Who else do we have in common where we would have seen their writing?
Director?
No,
that's Gleason.
They would have had no reason to get their hands up. The thing is who else would be able to get their hands on the Necronomicon, the book?
Yeah. I mean, not many people even know it's down there, for one. And also, how did Nora's handwriting also get on this page?
I'm kind of not thinking about that right now.
Right.
What about that Eve? Do we see any handwriting of hers?
You have not. No.
Okay. Whose handwriting have we seen any of the stuff we found?
Could it be Sylvia's?
You look at it with that in mind and everything?
Yeah. That would be a handwriting he and I might both be familiar with.
Right. It does seem to be Sylvia's, from what you remember of what her handwriting kind of looked like. And Forrest, you remember she had this journal that she always kept on her. And that apparently when she meditated, she specifically had that journal with her when she did the meditation.
And so her writing is mixed in with Nora's writing.
Nora only has 2 small, brief notes in the margins.
Yeah,
the whole page itself is what appears to be Sylvia's writing.
How did you get Sylvia's journal?
Gleason walks back.
Yeah.
Adam comes in with the chocolate egg drink that I already forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Egg cream.
Egg cream, right?
The chair creaks
Mm-hmm.
Her chair creaks with Vorrt's grip on the backrest. As he, grips it and, gives it, unconsciously giving it a bit of a grip. Gleason and actually Adam most likely see that his arm is, completely tense. Adam would spot it because that normally meant somebody was going to get ejected. Gleason would spot it because, well, actually the same thing.
Right. When Gleason does come over, he was like, "It's good to see you, Forrest and Nora." Looks over at you, Forrest, sees that there was obviously something that was going on, not just in a relationship sense, but in the fact that what the notes you're looking at and everything, like you two just pieced something together, probably.
Yeah.
But Gleason was just like, "How have you been feeling? How are you recovering? I know you've been shot before, but."
Oh, I'm back 100%. We almost was able to defeat the golem, so that was able to. Yeah, actually, he said just like I was able to defeat the.
And Adams
golem.
Already walked away at that point too. So
yeah. Tossed him.
Nora's taking a long drink.
Yeah. The water or the egg cream?
Not the egg cream.
Okay.
I feel like I need it.
Gleason
tossed him into a corner, his face folded around it. So he definitely is a golem, but man, yeah, he's definitely he's definitely subject to a judo throw.
All right. Well, and he like kind of squints his eyes at you, and he's started squinting his eyes ever since you said that you've been feeling fine since the gunshot wound, and he's done that before, and if it was like a different environment, he would test that theory. And if he really felt good or not.
Really felt fine.
Chop.
But with everything else, he sits down next to you and everything, and be like, "All right, let's not talk about the golem so much out in the open." But
sorry, just something.
I guess, what do you know in regards to that, and is there anything else along those lines that you've seen recently?
Well, we've got to go to a rabbi.
And so far, Gleason doesn't seem to be phased by you talking about.
See, that is actually impressive because I figured I was waiting for but you were, yeah. Anyways,
right.
He goes, yeah, I gotta go. There's an inscription that if I can jam it in his mouth, will should cause him to fall apart according to the mythology I read from Harper McLean.
Harper McLean, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Well, his writing, anyways.
Yeah. So that's the best, because that's the golem part's the best thing that
anything else odd that you come across or I guess experienced recently?
He's not good. He's not good at. Well, yeah, we just at some point found that we skipped time, and somehow at some point we're writing notes in Sylvia's journal.
Interesting. Okay, so I've been trying to do this for a good amount of years so far, but I can't necessarily do it here. But Nora and Rocco are already part of essentially like a side group that we have that I can finally bring you in on now. And
Rocco was the other one in that meeting.
Delta Green, but well, again, I'll have to do that officially later. This isn't the environment. But
and he pointedly
Mhm.
looks at Nora
Mhm.
and then back at Gleason, like you're saying
Yeah.
this in front of your.
and go ahead and give me an intelligence check, Forrest. Extreme success. Awesome.
Nice.
So,
So I put it. So I put the pieces together.
yeah, it's likely some sort of cell of the government that deals with the occult, right? That's the impression that you've been getting. You know, Rocco and Nora are apparently already part of this, but it's not just that. You also remember that symbol you drew on your notes however long ago was green, and because it's an extreme success, which is ridiculous for Forrest, it's a
Right.
triangle, which he actually remembers is the symbol for Delta. Where he learned that and how he remembers it right now, I have no idea, but he does. So he recognizes that one pilot that Gleason charted for him, that means the pilot was also in Delta Green. Because Forrest spotted that symbol on a file that the pilot had. And other than that, Gleason, and this is where we'll end it for the night, Gleason also kind of leans in and mentions, and it's odd that you mentioned Sylvia, because I looked at her report again recently, because I've still been trying to look into what happened when I can, and the report seems doctored now.
It changed.
Yeah, it's different from how I remember it. Like it's now. I mean, initially, Nora reported to be the last person that saw her in the class. Now it's, you, Forrest, were the last one to see her at a park bench.
Let me ask you a question, Gleason.
Okay.
Do you believe in time travel?
I believe in a lot of things, and time travel is not necessarily anything I've dealt with, but it's not out of the realm of weird that I've experienced already. I take it you're dealing with this at the moment.
Pretty sure Sommerfeld figured it out.
Interesting. And with that, Rocco will have walked in to the tavern, and that is where we'll leave it for the evening, I think.
Sweet.
Does anybody have any announcements?
Give me one.
I know hashtag Scooby Snacks is a thing.
Hashtag Scooby
Spooky
Snacks.
snack.
Spooky Snacks. Scooby
I
Snacks.
was like,
The
what
mention
is
of
that?
Shaggy and everything else.
Hey, listen, I'm
Clearly.
I made the same
Yeah.
mistake when I did Eat the Reich, so I understand.
Right. Nice.
Okay. Tomorrow night is Avatar at 9:30.
Ooh.
Second episode of our Avatar game. They're having a lot of fun. It's Tuesday night, so you can get to see Joe or Clockwork Tuba play a dad role, because that's what he
Coco
does on
figure.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah. Wasn't the only time I've seen him do it though.
Yeah, he seems to do it on Saturdays too, but that's not as locked in as it is in for Tuesdays.
Well, this past Saturday for Apophis, the coming of Apophis, he played a dad
Yes.
in that one, which was great.
Yeah. So, and that's up on our should be up on YouTube soon, and if not, it's also up on Twitch videos. But
Nice.
after that, what we've got this week on Thursday, check out Emerald Glitch on Gen Con TV, to the Twitch channel Gen Con TV, where you can see me Well, actually, yeah. Kill another person that's really important in Ava's character's life.
What is that? Like 14th, 15th, 23rd?
I
Person?
I'm
don't.
not sure. She loses a lot of people in these games.
Wait, who am I
Tom
losing? Oh,
specifically.
right. I remember. Never mind. I forgot.
Yeah.
I can save him.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, it's not actually my fault. I didn't choose the method that will eventually kill them. No, the viewers did a poll and they chose pufferfish.
And it's my fault because I'm the one who put it on the poll.
Yeah, I was gonna not mention that.
Are there layers of guilt to that?
Yes,
then
there's
Yeah.
layers of guilt to that.
Meta guilt.
So let's see. And
right.
Friday night, Grimm's Chill is going to be on this channel. Once again, that was a fun game from last Friday. And then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Yes, it is returned to Saturday morning games. Kender Mage is going to do the Vile Tomb of Zetlin.
Okay.
And it is Team Badger. If you haven't seen a Team Badger game, it's worth watching. It's a fun system that he's created. Well, it's a fun setting that he's created for Savage Worlds. I'm looking forward to playing in it. I think that covers it until next. That covers it until the 21st when we are back figuring out just how Forrest reacts to all these people knowing everything and him knowing and him not telling him anything.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't say Cherry was a part of Delta Green yet.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, the woman in the room that scares him,
right.
is
Nora's already a part of Delta Green.
Nora is. Yeah.
Nora is. Yeah, Nora doesn't scare him anymore. Cherry, the woman who scares him, is the only one that.
I think he's scared.
Yeah, he is. The first thing he saw, you mentioned hoping he's going to get beat up. On a woman that looks like Cherry, that just means trouble. In full, taking on full pulp mythology. All right, anybody have anything else? If not, I can take us to
next Monday. We'll have this again.
Yep.
But until then, I hope everybody has a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Hang on, transit.